Good morning, my friends. It is another beautiful day, and I am very happy to be here once more. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul, and today we are working with my I Am deck. I want to say thank you very much to all the folks who've been sharing this stream. You guys are incredible. But let's get right into the deck. This deck here is full of incredible statements that we can say about ourselves. It is shocking to me how often and how easily it is to say things about ourselves that are not very nice. Like we'll say things about ourselves that we would never say about another person, that would be completely obnoxious and inappropriate if we said it about somebody else. But because we said it about ourselves, it's somehow socially acceptable and it's somehow acceptable in our own minds. And so every morning at 9 a.m., Monday through Friday, I come on to Alive and go through the I Am deck and come up with some really amazing positive affirmations to replace the negative ones that run through so many of our heads. So I'm going to pull a card off the top of the deck, and then we're going to play the I Am game, which is very simple. All that I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation in the deck. You're going to say, I am the affirmation on the deck, and then I'll respond that you are. Then you can write it down in the chat so that you can know for a fact that you are indeed what we are affirming today. So let's take some ownership of ourselves and let's be responsible for our feelings and let's be responsible for ourselves and the internal monologue that happens inside of our head by grabbing a card and saying, I am resilient. I am resilient. I have the power to bounce back from any situation. So I am resilient. I have the power to bounce back from any situation. Are you resilient? You are resilient. You have the power to bounce back from any situation. Fact of the matter is that you've bounced back from hundreds of thousands of situations, that life is always happening, and that we are always in a situation. And sometimes we're in a situation that we've been in before, and we know exactly what we did last time and how well did it work, and what kind of mistakes did we make, or did it work great? In which case, we can modify our behavior accordingly. And sometimes we're in a position or a situation that we've never experienced before, and we have to wing it. We have to make a decision. We have to decide how we're going to react, how we're going to feel. And in that case, we exercise our resilience because whether we know what to do or whether we don't know what to do, the reality is that we have made it here now to this moment, and we have overcome literally everything that life has thrown at us up until this point. I remember I was working an event, and there was some donuts there, and a whole bunch of little kids wanted to see these donuts really really badly, and so these kids who are probably like I don't know between 5 and 7 years old were all given a donut by the local grown up, and of course they're really excited about this, and so they go running, and one of the kids drops their donut, and she goes from I am the happiest kid in the world to this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me because she probably never experienced the fact of getting a donut and then losing it so quickly to the ground. And so she went from I'm incredibly happy that I have a donut to I am distraught and just bawling and sobbing within a half of a second when she realized the extremity of her loss of that donut. And this happened because she had never experienced that before, and yet she was, of course, resilient. One of the volunteers went and got her another donut. It wasn't the end of the world. It was the end of her world, but it wasn't the end of the world. And as soon as she got the donut, she went right back to being happy. And I watched this, and I realized that we're all children on the inside. We're all still like this whole adulthood thing is a myth. We collect years, but the fact is that we we collect years, we collect maturity, but we still, in a lot of fundamental ways, behave like children and still have all of the emotions that are running through us. And these things are very important for us to recognize because it allows us to be resilient. It allows us to recognize that just because we've seen something for the first time doesn't mean that it has to end us. That kid saw the loss of their donut as being just the worst thing that had ever happened to them in all 6 years of their existence. I've been around for almost 40 years now, and I've seen a lot worse things than the loss of a donut. And yet I've recovered from all of them in exactly the same way that that child recovered from that thing which I feel was trivial. To them, it was important. To me, it would be trivial to lose a donut. And so resilience is something that is just built up over time. And the more things that we, the more adversity that we overcome, be it something big or something small, the more resilient that we get. And I think that it's just incredibly important to understand that we are always overcoming things, and the act of overcoming them is the point of life. It is it's the gift of life. This is something that is beautiful for us to understand about ourselves, is that we can overcome it, and that's what makes us stronger, and that's what makes us more mature, and that's ultimately what grants us the wisdom to be who we need to be and who we want to be. So I am resilient today, and I know that you are resilient too. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Uh, all kinds of stuff has happened to you, just like it's happened to me. And in the end, we've overcome it all. And so this is just a reminder that we have indeed overcome it all. I would love to see you write "I am resilient" in the chat, and let me know that you are resilient today. Let me know that you are a person who is going to go out today, and even though you're going to see challenges over and over and over again, that you are going to overcome them, either with old solutions that you know work, or with new solutions that you're going to find out if they work. So I am resilient today, and you are resilient too. And let's go and be more resilient and more mature together as we share this beautiful experience called life. Aloha from paradise.